Guess who's back?
You're now listening to Unapologetic The Podcast with your two hosts, Sharee and Reggie, discussing any and everything unfiltered.
What a child guy. That's great.
I definitely would have. Let me intro this. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Unapologetic The Podcast. I am your host, Reggie. Reggie's not here with us, but I have two lovely ladies on with me. They are reoccurring guests. We're here to talk a little, I guess, relationship talk today for a little bit. We're not gonna be too long because of the time of night. I know y'all got things to do, but how are y'all doing?
I am good. Tired, but I'm good.
Tired.
Same. Doing pretty good.
You know what?
I started my new job.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in surgery now, and I love it.
That's good. Oh, I mean, so you feel like re-energized, renewed now?
I do. I feel like saving lives. Not playing. But no, it's dope. You know, I always went into, you hear about these surgeons that have these God complex, attitude personas, and I went into it thinking like, Lord, please let me get along with whoever they pair me with, and I hope I don't work for some surgeon that's an asshole and have to cuss him out, go all black girl on him. But they were like really, receptive to me, like, hey, you're gonna love it up here, anything that you have. And I'm the type of person, if I'm not familiar with like terms or a technique or something like that, I'll go home and like research it so that I know, or at least act like I know my stuff like the next day.
Okay.
And they pretty much were like, hey, you're not gonna know half of these acronyms that we say. Don't worry, I'll tell you as we go. And I was like, okay, because y'all know, I'm like, are y'all speaking Chinese? So, but no, it actually, because of that, it helped broaden. I stepped a little bit further into my education. I was like, okay, let me look up. Oh, that's what they're doing. Oh, that's what this means. Because I haven't been doing it. I've been doing family medicine. I've done pediatrics. I've done a lot of other things, but I've never done surgery.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's very interesting.
So, that kind of sounds like the military a little bit, and you working around and with military, and of course Sharee being in, and everything is a damn acronym. Like you can't even say the simplest word without like it's afraid, but they'll take the first letter off every one of these words and the shit don't even make sense. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What do you mean?
It's like, funny because when I first started working for the military, I would have soldiers all the time like, oh, can I get a profile? I'm about to go to JSOC. What the hell is JSOC? I don't know what that is. It's like, what are you talking about?
Right. Yeah.
English, sweetie. I am a civilian.
You know what? I'm in the military. I feel the same way because when you move from one location or one base to another, like it's a whole new set of terms in this place. They're calling buildings and all kind of shit, training sites, and you're like, well, what the hell does that mean? Like,
and then if you were like, what is that? They look at you like, how the hell you don't know that? I'm looking like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
So, so how's soap business?
It's not going. It's going, but it's not going.
So you kind of put it on the back burner. New job.
I did.
Okay.
I put it on the back burner, and I was actually on Clubhouse the other night, and I was listening on how to promote, the beauty business for African American women, or just, business in general. Mm-hmm. And they were saying that, your business is only as successful as how much you pay it attention. Like you can't be on social media every day, but not promoting your business. And I was just like, I had this mindset, like, I don't want to be promoting every day, to my Facebook friends, and they'd be like, oh, here she go promoting her soap. I'm sick of looking at her. And so the chick in the Clubhouse was basically saying, like, don't have that mindset. Like, if you have that mindset, you just might need to stop.
I agree.
Because one thing about it, Fashion Nova gonna send you a doggone text message and email every day. They
every day.
Multiples.
Right.
Multiples.
And I was like, that's true. She was like, so you have to advertise. Like, that's the only way that you're going to get your business out. And I have not been dedicated to it. Like, I pretty much was like, okay, I'll do it. And I get interested. And let me tell you, I'm such a retard. I will look at soap videos on YouTube all day long. They're like so satisfying to me. But why am I watching another soap maker make soap when I make my own soap and I need to be making soap so I can sell soap? Don't make no sense, right? Yeah. So, but
I listen to other people's podcasts. Is that the same thing?
Yeah, you're right. I love the craft, whether I sell or not. So therefore, I love to look at other soap makers make soap. I love to make soap without even having to sell anything. Like, it's just it's my passion. It's what I like to do. And I'm also trying to learn how to slightly expand. I need to move into body washes, body butters, and scrubs. So I've been taking classes as well for that. So more to come.
Okay, interesting. You know, Black Friday is coming up, right? You doing a Black Friday sale?
I am.
Okay.
I am. And I'm preparing now for Christmas scents. So yeah.
Okay, interesting. Christmas scents.
Yes.
Okay. So what is a Christmas scent? Just don't say it like.
I was waiting. I was like, it's coming.
So Christmas scents. You've been to Bath and Body Works like during Christmas.
So would it be something like you call something like autumn or?
Yeah, like autumn. You have autumn. So like for the fall, I did I have a cocoa cashmere. It is an autumn scent, but I use it year round. But then like I did like pumpkin waffle. That's like a fall scent. But for Christmas, I'm gonna do probably maybe like a gingerbread. Maybe something with like peppermint in it. I'm not for sure exactly what, but I'm working on some stuff.
Okay. Oh, promotion wise, they keep telling me, and I haven't done it yet, but I have downloaded the app, TikTok. I haven't even made an account yet, but it's coming. Promotion wise, it's coming.
I started one too.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I started one for Shade and Silk.
I need to. Miss Owens. You was just on like a couple weeks ago anyway, but what's new with you?
Nothing. And down Washington.
It's cold now,
cold.
Right? Yeah, exactly. But listen,
rainy.
don't feel bad because the weather has turned here too.
It ain't cold like it is here. But
probably not, but
probably not.
The weather has turned here. I mean, for 40,
we in the 40s.
It was 42 this morning. That was cold enough. It's 42 when I woke up this morning. I don't even turn on the AC or the air no more. It's just comfortable. This is a good time of year. It's actually just comfortable how it is in the house, period. Like
it was so cold in here one night because I usually don't turn anything on either, the AC or the heat, but it was so cold in here downstairs. So I turned on my fireplace. I was like, man, I'm never going to turn this fireplace on. I turned my fireplace on and it heated the whole bottom floor. So that was cool. But I was like, man, I'm just thinking, people in Georgia or on the East Coast are still enjoying this nice, beautiful weather. Here I am in this rain, cold, and it's cold and rainy, which is a bad combination already. So, but I would say it's pretty here because the leaves are changing. So the trees the scenery is really pretty. But yeah, I'm over the weather. I'm over Washington.
That's what it is. You just over the state in general. That's what it is. But so we're here. I actually, like I was talking to y'all earlier about Miguel and his wife. I'm not gonna butcher her name. Y'all know how to say it? Is it Nazanin? I know I sent it to y'all. It's like Nazanin Mandi or something like that. But it was reported that they were getting a divorce, after 3 years of marriage. But they have been together 17 years, which kind of struck me as kind of interesting, as in, what could have changed in the relationship to make them want to get a divorce. They've been together, I guess you could say 20 years, because 17 years of being together and then 3 years of marriage, that's 20 years. So what could have changed? And we see it all the time. People have been together for decades and decide to get married. But, them being in a, I guess, boyfriend-girlfriend relationship for so long, and it seemingly was working fine. But then when they add the marriage title to it, divorce comes into the picture.
I don't know. Maybe, do they have kids? They don't have kids, do they?
I'm not sure. I could find that out.
I don't know, but I don't know. When you start putting titles on things, it kind of changed the dynamics of your relationship, I think. So 17 years, they were just friends. So
no, they were more than friends.
Well, I'm not okay.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase that. They were.
Y'all just been fucking for 17 years? Like, yeah.
Yeah, friends benefits, right? Yeah. No. But so they were together in a relationship for 17 years and then decided to get married. I don't know. Maybe maybe it's the title. Maybe I actually.
So at that point, you as women, is marriage on the table? But I'm pretty sure neither one of y'all are going to say, hey, I just want to be a girlfriend or whoever else for,
It should have been on the table way earlier than 17 years, Why did you wait 17 years to want to propose and marry me? You know what I mean? What didn't I have 3 or 10 years ago? Or
10 years ago, wow. Could you see yourself waiting 10 years?
No, but that's just an example.
I'm just asking. But you want the title marriage wife.
Yeah.
There's no case to where you can say, you know what, I'm fine where we are. What we have is great. I don't necessarily need this title or a piece of paper that says we're going to be together forever.
No, I would like to be married. That's just me. I would like to be married. I don't want to have a companion. I would like to be married. I say that now, but you never know what happens. But right now,
you can have the companion without the marriage title.
You can, okay. But I would like to be married.
Okay, so you want the title?
Sure.
What about you, Neisha?
I'm with Sharee, and I've had this conversation with several different people before, and there are a few women that I meet that say, no, I've been married before, or I don't require marriage or a title to know that somebody loves me, and that's fine. I think it all depends on how you look at relationships and love. I personally feel as though that if a man loves me, I want a title, because that title to me means security, means that he loves me so much that he wants to share his last name with me.
Okay, that's.
I honestly feel like, with that being said, I do feel that there are some people that are together and very happy that are not married. I'm not saying that it doesn't work for everybody. It's what I'm like, Sharee, I want to be married. I would love to be married. And more importantly, because when it comes down to, if this nigga died and I'm stuck here in this house, finances wise, you better make sure I'm set up. If we not gonna be married, don't leave me with nothing. Leave me the same way a wife would be entitled to everything that you have. I would still want that same, the same thing, especially if we built some things together. Because technically, if a person dies, you're not entitled to that. Right.
Well, so there's paperwork for that. But interesting that you say that, because I read this article, I think it was to Sharee and some other people, a couple months ago. It was this person talking about their mom and dad. Said their mom and dad had got divorced after 50 years. And the reason why is because dad had got sick going to a hospital a lot, had a bunch of medical bills, everything, you know, and they got divorced. So his wife would not be stuck with all these medical bills once he passed away.
Mm.
So
interesting.
I could see both sides of that one, you know. But I do think there is paperwork you can do, you know, say, hey, this is how it belongs to us. If one of us die or whatever else, you know, my life insurance goes to her, even though, you know, we're not legally married or whatever else.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't someone want to be married if you're in a house together, you're doing everything that a couple does?
Well, so like Neisha said, she's heard people that say that I've been there, done that, and I can do these same things without this title, without the only thing I changed, you know, there's people that tell you that the only thing that changed about me was my last name, or me saying I'm a wife or Mrs. You know, I was still the same person. I was still doing everything or whatever else. So I've heard that a lot myself. You know, I've been there, done that. I've done the marriage thing.
So maybe for me, because when I was married, I was like, my husband this and my husband that. You know, I love saying my husband. That's just me, though.
You one of them.
I am. I am one of them. I will say my husband you to death.
To death.
Okay, we're gonna get it. We'll get it.
Be like, do your husband have a name? Because that's all I hear is my husband.
But I mean, with he can still be my baby, my man.
Yeah, but you know, I use my husband too. my husband.
So I mean, so as far as a transition over from friendship to marriage, I think being together that long, I don't think there's too many things that's going to change.
I don't believe that marriage is what broke their relationship up.
Probably not.
I think, for them to have been together for that long, I think that it was something else. And it just so happened that somebody may be looking at it like, well, you know, what happened was they got married and messed it all up. They jinxed it. I've heard people say stuff like that. I don't think that's true. I think that they probably were already having some relationship issues. And I think that marriage probably was introduced to save an already failing relationship, possibly.
You know what? That you made a good point. You made a good point. And there's a lot of people that are pressured to be married. Like, hey, we've been
maybe she's been pressuring him.
We've been together 17 years. I mean, it's about time to put it, but at 17 years, you might as well, I mean,
right.
I mean, I don't know.
What are we doing here?
Right.
Yeah. Like, what was even the purpose? Like, what was so significant about year 17? So that makes me think that it was something else already going on in that relationship, and they pushed the marriage envelope to try to heal something that was going on, and it didn't work.
Good point. You know, I have a uncle, and I told this story before, but recently, well, I would say probably within the last 10 years or so, I found out that him and my aunt aren't married, never been married. And I've been calling her Aunt Irene my whole life. So that, and they've been together probably a good 50 years or more and never been married. Like I didn't even know that. That was like, wow. But you would never know that. You can never tell. I didn't even know that till my big mouth dad just, you know, was talking about it, you know, and but even my dad, him and his wife now, they've been together what, 30 something years? No, 40 something years. And I think he said they've been married 10 now. So yeah, I mean, I don't know.
What made them get married after 30 something years?
Probably pressure, the same thing. Like, we've been living together. You don't give me your name or what? I mean, but her name is hyphenated anyway. I mean,
so
is that a difference? Oh, you want my name, but you're gonna hyphenate it.
Well, so I hyphenated, my name is hyphenated. And I asked him, I said, do you care if I hyphenate my name or whatever? Because for the longest,
Why'd you ask him that?
So see if he cared.
Okay.
Yeah, to see if he cared. But for the longest, I didn't change my name. It was just Owens. And then I think I was married for like a good year before I went through the process and done the legal name change or whatever. But when I did ask him, I said, hey, do you care if I hyphenate it? And he was like, I don't care. Most men care about shit like that. You know what I mean? They were like, you ain't gonna hyphenate my damn name. Mm-hmm. He didn't care. So I was like, all right. So I hyphenated it. That's what it was. Now, when I get married again, I probably won't even, so I asked him because he never made a big deal about it before, even when we were dating. But if I get married again, I think the guy that I'm with will probably make it known that, hey, you know, you ain't hyphenating shit.
Hyphenate your lips. Hyphenate my name.
Yeah.
So something we've talked about plenty of times, Sharee. We can talk about this. But so tit for tat in relationships. How do y'all feel about
that? No.
It's a level of immaturity.
It is. So I don't think that it gains anything. Like, just because, all right, so like if you cheat, and does that mean that I get permission to cheat? Yeah, like, no, you don't do that. Like, what's your purpose? Like, if you're cheating, then you wanted to cheat anyways. I mean, but there are some people that think that way, feel like, well, you did it, I'm gonna do it too.
Well, not even so. Yep. Let's take it a step further. If you done it, that means I should be able to have my chance or choice to do it. Kind of like a get out of jail free card. You fucked up, so I'm allowed to fuck up.
No. No, you cannot. So, tit for tat. So I feel like if a person cheats in a relationship, right, and y'all are able to overcome that, then that's just what it is. You've overcame it, and no more free passes.
Once you forgive, it's supposed to be a clean slate.
So once you go to that next level and you say, oh, well, you know, let's get married. You get married. And then you decide, oh, well, she cheated on me back in the day, you know, so this is my free pass to go cheat now. No, sir, because we could have went our separate ways back then. You know what I mean? But now you're saying that we're married, so now you're going to go cheat and you think you get a pass. It don't work like that.
So would it change if the cheating
especially happened? When you're married?
So
I'm sorry?
All right, yes, that's what I'm going to ask you. So would that change if the cheating happened in the marriage? It wouldn't change.
Absolutely.
So, true story. I happen to know somebody that went through this recently. So the husband cheated multiple times. The wife didn't know about the multiple times, but he had cheated multiple times. Mm-hmm. So boom, the last incident, he gets caught. Months go on down the line. The wife forgives the husband. They move on. Everything is hunky-dory. And then the wife cheats on the husband. When the husband finds out, he is unable to forgive said wife. He can't move past it. He can't understand why this bee slept with somebody else and all this and third. And her explanation of why she did it was, it shouldn't matter. You cheated on me with 3-4 different women, blah, 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 blah. So why can't I talk? I mean, just because I did it, you can't forgive me. And he was basically like, no, I'm not going to forgive you for that, because he could not move past it. And like he said, was if you were still hurt, this man's exact words was, if you was hurt by what I did, you should have left me alone.
I definitely understand and get it. So I mean, should we feel some kind of way about that, so to say, double standard?
So
should he be able to forgive her, being that she did the same thing?
So some people would say that he should be able to forgive him, but technically, you can't tell a person how to heal.
Right.
You can't tell me how to feel. Just because you forgive that doesn't mean that I forgive that. And just because you did doesn't make me do it. Like, we're two different people.
Yeah,
and I don't feel differently. Yeah.
I don't turn the other cheek the same way you do.
Right.
Yeah.
My cheek may turn.
Well, there's a lot of people out there that does that tick for tack shit when it comes to relationships. You did it, let me get you back. I'm gonna get you back at a later time, or whatever. Or I'm gonna throw this back in your face when I get caught. That's their caveat.
But I think so. I think what Neisha said, that quote, not really a quote, but yes, if you felt this way, or you couldn't, get over it like me, then you shouldn't have, or you felt like you need to get me back, then we could have ended it then. Like, we're playing around from that point on. And I felt like that way in a relationship before, to where, okay, things happen and we decided to work on it and work through it. So once that happens, like, I can't tell you how to heal or to get past it, but every time we get in an argument or disagreement, it shouldn't go back to that incident, and that's always be thrown up in my face. Make it make sense. I don't know. Make it make sense.
I know a hypocrite just like that. And but you was I don't understand. Some people's logic just does not make sense. And with that being said, is the very reason why, if you cannot forgive that person, if you still like, I'm gonna say I forgive you, but I'm gonna get you back, nah, bruh, just leave me alone. Just walk away if you have that mentality, because what happens is you don't know how that next person is going to respond to what they did. And the reason why I said this is because those type of situations, some people hurt deeply. And in this particular relationship that I know, it led to some violence.
I was gonna say that
and the violence was bad. And it just turned into like a really ugly mess. And it was because you can't hurt people the way that they hurt you. You don't know how they're going to react.
Right. Just to say I got you back, or I'm getting even.
Yep. That's right.
Yeah. Yep. And people are crazy out here these days. Like, I was just reading this story. This dude, girlfriend broke up with him, and he threw gasoline on her and set her on fire. Like, people are like, I don't know. This whole world is this domestic violence and all this other stuff. I mean, it's weird, but we're not gonna get into the domestic violence aspect of it. But yeah, tit for tat, I've never understand it. Relationship wise, anyway. Even like checking someone's phone, where they check my phone, so I went and checked. Like, I feel like once you start doing that shit, you might as well not even. I mean, you might as well fix your mind to where you're going to be single, or you want to be single.
Yeah.
Because some people, like, the phone is everything to them. Like, you go through that shit and it's a wrap. Like, hey,
right.
You didn't find nothing. You don't trust me anyway. So, like, what are we doing?
Yeah. Once the trust is gone, then it's hard to get it back.
So, another subject conversation going on is this: who's the real prize talk? The man or the woman?
Both. I think both. Why does it have to be one or the other?
So, here's the saying. A lot of women are saying this. Girl, we might as well start taking these men out and doing this for them and doing that for them, because they want to be catered to. They want to be the prize in relationships. They want to be chased after. These men are feminine men these days, unlike our masculine fathers that did all the chasing and blah, 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 blah. But I kind of agree with you, Sharee. I would want to be the prize to my woman as she is the prize to me. That's how I view it. Like, why can't we both be the prize.
Right. Both of you are the prize. I don't see one value more than the other.
Nisha, you're real quiet, Nisha. Let me hear
No,
it.
I'm listening.
Let me hear it.
But no, I had this conversation earlier with the male, and I asked him that question, and he said that he was like, it's way more y'all than it is of us. He was like, so because it's less men available catches. He was like, wouldn't we be the good catch? And I was like, you may have a point.
I've heard that.
So he was
a
like,
good one anyway. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. And because he always says to me all the time, he was like, females always talking about, throw that Bible scripture on you that, a man is looking for a good wife. He was like, but y'all should be looking for a good husband.
Well, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Because I mean, they'll I mean, a lot of y'all will say, I want to know what Sierra's prayer was. I mean, hell, we want to know what Russell's prayer was.
Right.
I mean,
there you go.
Right.
I mean, that's something that needs to be talked about. But I don't know. Relationship talk is crazy because there's so many different aspects, and we always for us men, what our fathers and grandfathers did is always the barometer of how relationships should be. We should base our 2021 relationship minds on what happened in the 80s and 70s and 60s, whatever else, I don't think that's a true measure of how the relationship is going to go. Because we definitely live in a whole totally different society.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. We that's definitely true. Living back in the 80s or the 70s.
And it's so funny when I start talking to other women, and I know some women that like the smallest things, excite them or is considered a requirement in a relationship. I was talking to a female the other day, and she was like, I'm just so turned off if a man don't open the door for me. And I was like, really? That doesn't upset me.
Yeah.
Does it mean that I'm less of a woman or that my standards are low? No, it's just that I don't get perplexed over small stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Excite me with bigger stuff that's the norm in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, and I think part of it too is that I'm so used to being by myself that it's not something that is required for me.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're right. Cause I mean, my youngest daughter, her mom is the same. Like she think it's corny. Those are her exact words. Like, a man open the doors. That's corny to me. Like, they don't have to do that.
Yeah. Like if y'all reach the door first, I'm just going to open it.
But yeah, she was like, you could already been sitting down and had a car started. You walking over here, she would say stuff like that. But then you have the other side to where women like, well, I've never been around a woman that, cause I do open doors naturally anyway, but I've went out with, friends and, I've seen like him get in the car and she just stand by the door and he got out and came back around, I've seen that before. But those requirements, I think
me and you talked about this one time before in another episode, and we were talking about things that we felt like there's some things that women feel that men should do, and like one of them is like take out the trash, and you was like, if the trash is stinking, you need to take the trash out.
I mean, it only makes sense, right?
Right.
You're just gonna let a stinking ass bag of garbage sit in your house until the man gets home to take it out? I mean,
some women will.
I know.
I'll be like, I'm not touching that trash.
I know. Listen, I know a woman that drove home on E because she didn't want to pump gas. And guess what?
Yeah.
He got in the car to go take it to the gas station and made it around the corner. And then had to come back to the house and get in his car and drive to the gas station and fill a can up with gas to come back to fill her, like that's too much.
I have a friend like that too. She never fills up her car. Her husband always fills her car up for her every week, every Sunday. She has not pumped gas since the day she's been with him.
I mean,
so she got the pattern
I hate
and the
pumping
technique.
Gas.
she got the pattern and the technique down to where she knows she not going, or she know, okay, I can make it home at least, and he can make it back. Like I can get that, but yeah, don't have me driving. Don't have me, the car barely starting because it's on fumes and shit. And I'm like, well, damn, like you could at least stop and put $2 in here at least, so something I can make it back. Like, golly. That shit would be the worst. Now shit like that'll just make you like want to tear some shit up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
The car stalling and hesitating down the road, and you like what the fuck? Damn.
That's true.
But
Very true.
I mean, I hate those, but those gender roles, a lot of them need to be did away with anyway. I hate them. Like, I hate it. A lot of them. We because a lot of those gender roles are, as I said before, those are basic life skills or necessities. I'm a single man and I'm just gonna eat fast food or Pop-Tarts all day until I find a woman to come cook for me. Like, so I hate those things that when we look for a woman that's good in the kitchen or can do this and do that. I mean, fuck.
And I have women on my timeline all the time. They fix a meal for their husband or whatever, and they hashtag wifely duties. And I be thinking, wow, because I know a bunch of men that cook and they don't hashtag husband duties, And I know a lot of men that cook. I was so shocked. I went to work and I was asking everybody what was they gonna cook, and they were like, "Oh, I don't cook. My husband cooks." And I was just like, "What? I need one of them."
That's a consensus. I've talked to a lot of people, a lot of women that say, "Girl, I don't be cooking. My husband do all the cooking."
My husband cook. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I will say, when I was married, he done a lot of the cooking. I didn't do I mean, I was in the kitchen, but he was in the kitchen most of the time. So, and it wasn't like, hey, you go cook. He would just go in the kitchen because that's something that he liked to do. So.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, cooking, cleaning. That's basically. I mean, hell, you could be a single father. I mean, taking care of a child. I mean, those are things that I think we all are capable of doing. But some people are bad cooks. Some people just can't clean right or good to your standards, and some people are bad parents, and that don't necessarily mean. I mean, you could be a man or a woman and be bad in all those areas. So, but have y'all ever felt like you let a good one go? No.
I'm agreeing with Neisha.
You never been in a relationship to where you just like, damn, I let a good man go. Like, our relationship really could have been something.
No.
I don't think so. I'm trying to think of like some past relationships, and
I think I had a couple. I don't know.
She said I had a couple.
I think maybe a couple girlfriends. I mean, there's probably like one or two, like maybe
So let me ask you this. Did they break up with you or did you break up with them?
Well, so one particular that comes to mind, my Shania's mom, the military more or less did that for us. I shouldn't say that, huh? Because she's married. What if her husband just happened? But whatever.
I know.
Whatever, yeah. But I mean, they've been together for a long time now. And I had her before he did, but it's not like I'm trying to actively get with her. But I mean, that could have been the case. I mean, we didn't necessarily like the military just kind of, pushed us apart a little bit. I got stationed one place and then she ended up deploying, and then she came back off of deployment and ended up going to Korea or somewhere. Like, there was just like so much distance, and and it kind of like pushed us apart to where like it just didn't work. Distance didn't work. But I mean, it was never we not together, this or that. It's just one day she was talking to somebody. She was engaged. I probably was too. Well, I wasn't engaged, but yeah. So I mean, might have been a couple. I don't know. I mean, who knows?
I feel that all of my previous relationships, some I walked away from, and some they cheated on me or whatever, and I was just like, okay, we done, But I'm grateful for each and every one of those relationships I've had, because I learned something from each one of them. You know, I look back now, even now, and I'm like, you know what could I have done better in this relationship? I know things that I could have done better, but now I look at, you can't see it at that time, but I realize now, like, yeah, they just wasn't the one. They were not the one for me. And, you know, everybody leaves an impression on you in a relationship. There are some that I like a lot of things about certain ones that I've dated, but moving forward, like, hey, if you cheated on me or you went all in and 100%, then hey, we just, I'm gonna let you go and find what it is that you're looking for, because I want somebody to be 100% with me. I need for you to know I'm the one. So, I don't feel like even if they may have had great qualities, but they won't mine.
And you have not let a good one go, Sharee. You not, there ain't one that you, whether, because, okay, so here's a saying that a lot of women tend to friend zone the good ones, the ones that really like them, that want to be with them, and they more or less, I guess, entertain or date the ones that really ain't shit.
So yeah, I've done that. You know how the saying goes, good girls like bad boys, bad guys, or whatever. I think that's true. So I will always consider myself as a good girl, liking the bad guy, liking a bad guy. Well, I don't do no wrong.
Right.
But
innocent Sharee is. She sounds so innocent. She looks innocent. Exactly. I'm with you, Sharee. She's a good girl.
Do no wrong. No wrong. But
tell somebody look through your camera roll or the girls group chat, one of them, right? It's either the camera roll or the girls group chat.
But
or your saved porn searches or some shit. Like,
yeah, I guess you're right. Some of the guys that are friends that I friend zone probably would have been a good catch for me, but I just didn't take it there. I kept in.
Was it the looks?
Or
he just wasn't bad enough. Like, well, so what's when you say bad boy, what do you mean? What since you're a good girl?
So I'm just when I say bad, I'm talking about like back in the day, like I used to like want to date drug dealers or whatever, you know what I mean? Because they're the ones that always have the cash. And, you know, I was that girl back in the day that wanted to, the bad guy with the flashy car, the big rims, all of that. So that was me back then. But, and the guys that I had as friends, you know, they didn't have all that. They were just like normal, I would say. You know, normal guys. And
that was me growing up in high school. I was just
what?
Normal.
Oh, normal.
That's how I felt, Neisha. I was just normal. But most of the, I think most of the girls like older guys anyway.
I mean, they were older. They were older guys.
We was in Fayetteville too, though. So Soldiers was.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's another story.
That's
another story.
In high school, I always felt awkward. I felt very awkward. I felt like I just did not fit in. And I think that because I was developed, you know, as far as like my body and everything, I was very immature. And I don't think too many people knew it because all of my peers were having sex except for me. And I felt so alone and isolated because stuff that they would do, like they would skip school. Oh, we can go smoke weed and have sex, and I'd be like, yeah, I don't want to do that. Like I just wasn't interested in that. And I think because of that you know hindered me from creating like good friendships and stuff like that. So Sharee, in high school, Reggie was one of the popular kids. He was a shoe fanatic back then. I just remember, but well, you didn't work at Foot Locker though in high school, did you?
No, after.
Okay. Yeah. I just remember you in tennis shoes and polos and Tommy Hilfigers. That's all I remember. Because it was only like a few guys that could like really dress, and I just remembered Reggie being one of them.
See, yeah. So if me and Reggie, or we were all in high school together, Reggie would have been on my radar.
No, I wouldn't have, because I wasn't a drug dealer, and
but you were.
You had a little chain though.
I didn't have a car.
Remind me to find this picture of us. And I had a picture of Reggie when he was in high school.
I didn't have a car.
He was like
chilling
popular.
On the back. You were popular.
Mm-mm.
He was sneaky quiet.
That's what she's saying.
Because I found out later of some people that he messed with, and I was like, dang, Reggie,
God.
he was out.
I don't know. I don't think that's true. But so, hey, do y'all believe in soulmates?
I do.
Do you?
I believe in soul ties and soulmates. I do. I want to. I still believe in fairy tales, so I probably wrong person to ask.
Do you think you've met your soulmate?
I don't know.
How do you know when you meet him?
That's a good question.
That's a good question. So I've had a very strong sexual relationship with somebody, but we did not get along.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that person was my soulmate. Somebody said that was just a soul tie.
It might have been. So me and Dre talked about this earlier. Do you think the majority of us end up with our soulmates?
No.
Me neither.
No.
Well, that's if you believe in soulmates.
Like, how do you? That's the thing. You don't know when you've met them. How do you know when you've met your soulmate? I was married and I thought he was my soulmate. You know what I mean? Like when you get married, you're like, oh, this is my soulmate and blah, blah, blah. You know,
I didn't feel that way when I
All right. So to answer what you said, Sharee, Dre said this earlier and it made a lot of sense. He said, because he said the same thing Neisha said. He said he believed in soulmates. He said, but he think that sometimes you can meet your soulmate at the wrong time of your life.
Yeah.
That is very true.
That's true.
The timing is everything. That is very true.
Mm-hmm.
So we all could have probably met our soulmate then, and the time, I would like to think I haven't.
They call it. I think they call it like your twin flame. I think that's
yes, that's exactly what they call it.
Yeah,
twin flame.
So when I say that my soulmate, so a soulmate, I think in twin flame are similar, or maybe they're just alike. I'm not for sure. But I do feel as though when it comes like your twin flame, it's like y'all are like opposites of each other.
Yep.
And
but y'all attract,
but you attract, right?
Wow.
Yeah. And that's how I feel about the guy I was telling you. At one time I used to think he was my twin flame because our sexual tie was so strong, but personality wise, he was complete opposite of me. You know, I'm very talkative. Mm-hmm. He was real quiet. I feel like I want to be in a relationship with a person that's very talkative and open with communication. He was none of that. And I was just like, so then it made me start wondering, like, maybe we're not meant to be together. Maybe the only thing that I really like from you is sex and how you look. So, because it can make you question, you know, like, why am I here? What are we doing? Why am I doing this with you? You know, like, we ain't gonna make it because but you know. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So,
what do you think?
I believe in soulmates to an extent. I don't think I'm going to end up with my soulmate. Maybe I'm jinxing myself. I think I may have probably met them. I don't know. But I don't know. It's just something, and not saying that whoever I end up with, if it happens to be somebody that's watching or listening, you know, if that was to happen, I'd say like, you know, it's not somebody I want to be with. But when I think soulmates, I think that's somebody that you probably say, oh, God intended for me or made for me, or this person was, you know, this was the person that was put here for me. But you always, anytime you get into a long, loving, lasting relationship, that's what you think. I.e., like Sharee said about her marriage, like she thought that was the person that God made for her. But I mean, actually, it could be. It could have just been the wrong season, Sharee.
I doubt it, but okay.
But so you said you don't believe in soulmates, or you don't know?
No, I didn't say I didn't believe in it. I was just like, how do I know when I've met them? Or will I have like a different feeling? Will I feel something? Or, how do you know when you've met that person? Because soulmates and soul ties are completely different.
Different. Yeah, I think they are.
Mm-hmm. So
you can have a soul.
Go ahead.
No, you can have a soul tie to a person sexually, like just like Neisha was saying. And then that's the only thing that y'all have in common.
So how do you differentiate the two?
I don't know. More research.
Yeah.
I really do, because like I said, I've heard the different terms of a twin flame and soul ties and then a soulmate, and I'm not quite for sure what the difference is between the two. Or three rather.
Yeah, I can't answer that either, because I don't know.
Sex is a powerful drug.
Sex is very it's definitely a powerful drug.
That blurs a lot.
It definitely blurs the vision. It definitely does that.
Yeah, they did.
So let me say this. Have you ever had a relationship with a person where y'all vibe, y'all energy together is great, like you guys like the same things, you have the same interests, y'all can just talk endlessly, but when y'all are actually together, when it's time to become intimate and sexual, it's just kind of like awkward?
Oh, yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. And it's like, how do you make it?
Because I really wanted them to be the one.
Yeah. You're like, man, this is just too good to be true.
To be true. Yeah.
Or the performance wasn't. You're like.
Yeah.
I've given this 5 tries already, and this is not getting better. Like, wow.
5 tries a magic number.
Oh man. Well, it could be more. Like, oh man. I don't know.
Like, just ain't getting no better.
Yeah. But I'm getting ready to let y'all go before it get too late. But I do want to ask you this. But you know what? Neisha? That man has that man has probably walked past your desk like 95 times and not know what to say to you or how to say it to you.
He must be a white guy.
No.
Okay. I don't. All the black men that I encounter are usually married or they ugly. The Lord knows my heart. He is not.
I was just about to ask you that, but so before we close it out, how do you know your soulmate isn't ugly?
Well, he gonna have to have a beautiful soul. I'm gonna need to see that. Something.
You can't see.
He gotta be pleasing to the eye to me.
He
gotta be beautiful to anybody else.
If the soulmate is ugly, if I'm not attracted to my soulmate, then he wasn't me.
But who dictates who your soulmate is? You don't, or do you?
No, but Reggie, if
we don't open another can.
If you're ugly, my Hello Kitty is not going to be happy. That you have to excite all of me, mind, body, and spirit. So I don't believe that my soulmate is not going to make me be sexually aroused. Yeah, like, no. If that was the case, no, we're not doing that.
So the arousal can't come from the mental stimulation that this person may give you, or the way they touch you or treat you.
Reggie, we talked about this. We said it was awkward when you have somebody that you bond with mentally and all that. Then when you get to the sex part, it's just not right. Like, no.
But so there's a difference between them, you bonding mentally and all that other stuff, but they knowing how to communicate to you in a way that just arouses you as well. Like they can say the right things, the right words, or the conversations that they bring up, like just make you like, you know what, you're gonna get some cheeks tonight.
But then when it comes to that moment,
tell them, Sharee.
Oh God.
It's awkward.
So us men would think different because
now it feels like I'm kissing my brother or something like that. Oh no, it's just.
Well, so us men would think different because we're supposed to be the visual creatures. But
Just
so
visual.
I think that's homework. I think we need to find out who dictates or what dictates who your soulmate is. 'Cause I don't think we pick our soulmates out, do we? Because if we're gonna say the soulmate was made to be for you, then we don't pick our necessary. Because if we pick our soulmates, then we'll probably never. For the ones that never get married, they're like, I've never met my soulmate.
Right.
But all right, ladies.
All righty.
Let's close this one out. Sharee, you got anything you want to say to the unapologetic viewers, listeners?
No, come and visit me in Washington because I'm bored. I'm joking.
They don't nobody want to come out there.
For having me once again, Reggie.
Thank you for being on.
Yeah, that's about it. I'm always available whenever you need me. So.
All right. I just want to do this episode. This is my third one today.
But
whatever. Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, I had nothing to do today. But Neisha, go ahead and plug the company that you're not that you put on the back burner for a little bit.
I sell soap at Shay and Silk. I am on Facebook, Instagram, and my website is www.ShayanSilkSoap.com. ShayandSilk.com. But you can purchase through Facebook and Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
So hook me up.
And she's gonna have a Black Friday sale. You gonna have any other sales besides that?
I am. You know, Reggie, you've inspired me. I might do a giveaway tomorrow. Let me work on that tonight.
Is it gonna be random or is this gonna be a time you're gonna post? Because I'm not on Facebook like that. Most of my stuff come from my stories. I don't know when last time I actually posted a post on Facebook that didn't come from Instagram.
Okay.
Then I'll see your stuff and I'll be like, I didn't know because I'm not on Facebook like that.
I don't know. I should have some time. I might do it tonight and let it run for maybe a couple of days or
okay.
I don't know. I'm gonna do some kind of sale special or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and check to make sure the other soap lady ain't doing one, so you're not considered to be stealing her idea. It's sad you got to do things like that these days.
I was gonna say some nice words, Reggie, but I'm not gonna be ugly.
Me either. I've been wanting to say something for the longest because I've just being a bigger person is really eating at my soul and deteriorating me inside. And there's some things I want to say, even, like mutual friends, like that I have messaging and everything of this particular person talking cold shit about him. And then, my brother this, my brother that, or my sister this, or, oh girl, you're so beautiful and gorgeous. I'm like, I got a text message right here. You said that she was ugly as fuck.
Sometimes it's okay to not be a bigger person.
Man,
it is.
And it's needed at times.
And I'm going to say what I said to her, and I'll say it again, that be blessed. Watch the energy that you put out. Because it, I firmly believe in karma. And I'm not going to argue with somebody that I can't lay hands on. And I'm not going to go back and forth with you. Child, be blessed. I hope you do wonderful things, but you, Black Queen, because I'm going to do great things, okay? With or without you. And I don't need all that negative energy. Girl, bye. Ain't nobody thinking about you. Ain't nobody thinking about you. But you, on the other hand, I might have would have said some ugly words for that situation. Yeah. I'm petty. I can be petty, but I chose not to. I chose to be the beggar. I chose to go high.
I think the reason, and I don't even really want to talk a lot about it like this, but I think the reason why it keeps like burning me up because when I talk to some people, they're like, man, yeah, we ain't talked in a while. Oh, we ain't been in a group or this or that, what happened, and then, once they start talking, they start telling me stuff. I'm like, oh, really? That's what was said. I didn't say that. Like, oh, this what happened in the group. But then crazy thing is, like, one of my good friends, he's in the group, and like, I'm like, oh, all this shit was being said about me in the group. I ain't like, he ain't never mentioned that to me. He ain't say, but you know, I know that's the territory that you get into once you know, when you're among a bunch of, I hate to say it, women, because a lot of catty stuff happened. Like, I think you'll see different things when you look at a male's group chat versus a women's group chat, you know, as far as in the pettiness and how, you know, who's talking about this or that or whatever else. But anyway, thank you for everybody for tuning in, watching, listening, however you're getting this. Shout out to Dre. Shout out to everybody. Like, share, subscribe, and I will see y'all later. As always, with Unapologetic, with Unfiltered, and we out of here.
You know what it is. Thanks for listening to another episode of Unapologetic, the podcast. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe.
Better follow me. is.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Unapologetic, the podcast. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe.
Better follow me.